with the right guidance, you could change the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sex Pistols.
Yeah, massive boost to film, man. But to be honest, the more I learn about him, the more I realise that this guy isn't he's a punk legend, but he's not. He's a real human. He was a kid. He was 21 when he died. Like, you know, I stopped sort of looking up to him like, wow, he's this godlike figure. He's just a kid making mistakes like every other kid. And so once I learned that, it was kind of like just playing any other character.
I think the most important part for me was at the end of the day, I'm a fan, and I could always rely on that. If I was ever having a tough day or I was ever confused about something in the script, what I could always rely on is any decision in my performance, I was doing it from a place of love. I didn't know too much about the Sex Pistols before I started, but lucky for me, John has 3 books, so I was able to really dive in and learn about him and read all about him, and I just became such an admirer of him. So the important thing for me to fill these shoes authentically and effectively was to be honest about how much of a fan I am of him. I mean, history paints this band as a group of spitting, anarchic devils that never got on, and it just isn't true. Part of it's obviously true, and part of it is their appeal. It's exciting, it's unique. However, I think we all went into this wanting to present a fully formed version of a human being, because at the end of the day, John Lydon's a person just like me or you. And while I find the stage persona so exciting, I also wanted to show the John that worked at a youth centre for underprivileged children before he joined the band. So I hope that I show him as a fully fleshed human and all the different sides of his personality. I mean, I'm massively disappointed that I wasn't able to meet John. It would have been the icing on the cake for me with this job. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm a fan of his, and it's such a shame that he chose not to be involved. We would have loved for him to be involved, and everyone would have loved his contributions. But I was lucky enough to meet with Steve Jones, Paul Cook, Glenn Matlock, Chrissy Hind, and the one consistent thing amongst them all is that they hold John's contributions to the band and to music as a whole in the highest regard. Truthfully, everyone and every decision on this towards John has come from a place of love, and that's what I'm really pleased about. And I hope he can see that in my performance when he watches it.
Yeah, I mean, it's they're an extraordinary bunch of characters, very complex, and trying to manoeuvre your way through all the different stories about them, because they never tally. They all disagree about everything. That's built in, as we know with John, but many of the others as well, they all disagree. But what you find when you work on it is a love for it, really, and that reveals the emotion of it. And it's interesting in terms of John and Sid. When you read the women's versions of them, they're much more aware of how sensitive and vulnerable they are. Whereas when you read the male accounts, it's what you would expect. It's all the aggression, the contrariness, the confrontation. So it was interesting balancing those things, and hopefully it's very heartfelt parts of it, yeah, because of that. It's a new generation of actors. I have to thank the casting directors, Gail Stevens and Rebecca Fairholm. They're a brand new bunch of actors, and I was amazed. And they're diligent. They do their work. You know, they work at home and they come in and they're ready. So it was very exciting. Also, they have that crazy confidence of youth. They just think, oh yeah, I'll play Johnny Rotten, or oh yeah, I'll play it. You know, and it's foolish and wonderful at the same time. And I don't think the rest of us could do it anymore, you know. So they get on with it, yeah.
But I was lucky enough to be able to call and text and chat with Jordan frequently, and she had full autonomy and control over my wig, my makeup, my costume, the way I spoke, the way I held myself, the way I conducted a room. And so for me, although playing someone who is known by a lot of people does have its pressure, there was really only one person that I wanted to care and love, you know, about it. So, and she did. She was very happy with it.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was my main concern since I first got the job. So I knew quite quickly from looking at videos and archive footage that he's quite a character. But I needed to make sure that he was grounded and rooted in me, I suppose, in a truth. That's so important when you're playing any character. It has to come from a place of truth, otherwise you're doing an impression, and that's all surfacey, and people don't invest in that. People don't buy into that. So that was a hard one to get, but I mean, a lot of that was down to our wonderful writer Craig,
and Mr. Boyle. So it makes it so much easier.
Danny was amazing. His storytelling when it came to the pistols was really wonderful and helped us all get into character. You know, they really affected him, you know, and you could hear that whenever he spoke of them. I think one of the things that was really useful was getting that friendship right between Paul and Steve, who's played by Toby Wallace, who unfortunately can't be here, and it's a crying shame because he did such an amazing job. Toby was amazing. But yeah, getting that sort of friendship right, which is explored in Steve's book, which is what the film's kind of based off, so that kind of helped me get to grips with that relationship, certainly.
Oh my God, I feel like it's been such a long time coming. We filmed it at the beginning of last year, so for it to be finally released into the world, it just used to just fly. Absolutely, I think there's the Sex Pistols and all the characters and all the personas that we know, but we wanted to get to know them as people and really humanise them, and Craig did that in his writing as well. To be able to play Nancy and show a different side to Nancy that we potentially haven't seen before, and show that vulnerability and the fragility that we all have inside of us, was really key to seeing a fully formed character. It was kind of nerve-wracking at the beginning, but then we were very aware that Danny didn't want us to do imitations, so it was very much our interpretation of these characters, because especially for Nancy, I didn't get to meet her, so I kind of drew on what I could, but then I had to make it my own.